right, welcome to the OTE podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Joe.
Today we're going to talk about mental health and nutrition.
It all goes together. What you are what you eat. That is true.
That is true.
And you are what you think too. It's a big cycle there. You take in, you put out. You take in, you put out.
Me being in the mental health field, I think that mental health and nutrition goes hand in hand. I think the additives that they put in our food does have an effect on our minds, our ability to function properly. Oftentimes, that's kind of what I think. Joe, what do you think about that?
My personal experience with supplementations and nutrition. Yeah, I mean, you can, if you really just sit down and pay attention to your diet and what you're taking in and what you're not taking in, if you make little changes, you'll see differences, not only in your energy levels, but also in your thinking. You taking less soda, you taking less sugar altogether, you'll be less anxious.
Yeah.
Not only will it affect your waistline, but also affects your mental. It affects everything because those things you take in that affect let's say your blood pressure, those things that might affect your kidneys. It's affecting your brain chemistry also too. It's affecting your brain chemistry. It's affecting your hormone levels, and that's going to affects your thinking. It affects how you interact with people and how you're going to solve this basically the everyday problems that will arise.
Me and Joe, we often talk about our diets and different supplements that we're taking. You know, as we're getting older, I think proper nutrition is vital. I think even as just, obviously a kid.
Yeah. People overlook kids' nutrition. They give them all kind of colorful juices and little handy snacks. Like, no, that's more important because that brain's building.
Yeah,
that brain's building.
Exactly. And what you're feeding that brain, if you constantly feed it sugar, you constantly feed it fats, and unhealthy things, saturated fats, it's going to get addicted to those things. And once you take it away, it's not going to be good. It's going to be a pretty chaotic time for that person.
Withdrawal, just like you would with nicotine, just like you would with alcohol, nicotine.
It's a drug. Those additives are drugs.
Those are not natural compounds. If they add to the food, make it last longer. Everything you're taking in will have some type of effect. Now, not everything they add to food is going to kill you, make you overweight, but it's going to have some effect. It could affect hormone levels.
Yeah, exactly.
It could affect nutrient absorption. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And you can't absorb nutrients. You can't produce proper hormones. That's going to affect you on many, many levels. And the kids, people just microwave something. They get something out of the freezer, something super processed, something that is going to just be a quick, easy meal. They're not thinking about the actual nutrition or what's in it.
Exactly. We talk about, adding weight. Kids are, because of their sugary drinks, processed foods, they're more overweight. Juvenile diabetes is at an all-time high.
Yep.
School performance is at an all-time low, really.
They're connected.
Causation, equal correlation, or
they're definitely connected.
Disciplinary action or disciplinary behaviors that need to be disciplined. Oppositional defiance disorder, ADHD, all social behavioral issues are at an all-time high. Is that because just because of screens, or what the children are watching, video games, or is it because of their nutrition as well? Perfect storm.
Because let's say you're getting bad nutrition, you're probably more apt to want to sit around and watch the screen rather than go outside and do anything.
That's gonna lower your drive, in your mind. It's going to put you in a sedated state, I would say. Or it's a state of, you're really a lazy state. You don't want to really do anything. That sugar all in your blood. You're not going to, you don't feel like taking a nap. You're gonna feel like taking a nap. And the thing about sugar is, it causes an insulin response. Unless you go burn off that
burn that sugar off. That insulin is going to build fat, and it messes up your whole cycle because you're building this fat that you don't need, and you're being even lazier now because you have more fat, and then you go to school. The kid doesn't want to cooperate, don't do nothing but be lazy, but sit around watching screen. And what happens when a kid repeatedly has behavioral issues? What happens eventually? Medication. And that's adding another monkey to the mix right there, because now you got these new chemicals affecting the brain at a time where the brain growth and development is really crucial in that early adolescence, early childhood. And so now you create a problem child. What's going to happen to that problem child when they become an adult?
Jail.
Dead, jail, pregnant, drugs, all kind of fun things. All kind of fun things for that kid.
Being more of a hindrance society as more than a help.
Exactly.
Costing taxpayers dollars and added to the crime rate, or another negative statistic, I would say. More
lost potential. That person, if they would have been able to go in the right direction, live to their potential, maybe that person might have, cured a type of cancer or something. Maybe they would have did something great with their life, but because of the factors in early childhood, they're set on a trajectory that it's going to be difficult to rebound from.
Oftentimes, and where I see the biggest problem with this sort of perfect storm, as you said, is in the impoverished communities, the minority communities, where quality food is scarce, mental instability is high.
I have a little pushback against it being scarce in a way, though. Okay.
Well,
these people don't.
I would say scarce as far as not the opportunity to get it.
There you go.
But the information.
Yes.
To
the
try
knowledge
to obtain
is
to try to obtain it, to see how the benefits of it.
There you go.
It's a generational thing.
The knowledge is definitely.
The knowledge is scarce, and it's not. Can it benefit me? It's not how does it benefit me right now?
Exactly.
Me too. How can it? That's just like we talk about the microwave. The microwave culture is instant. I need it instant. Like if it's not gonna benefit me instantly, I don't want it. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean it is faster to go through dry. I mean, getting a burger is quicker than actually cooking a pot of greens.
Yeah,
even though the greens is cheaper and more nutritious.
That is true. And I often see that with my line of work. It's constant. It's a thing within the parents that they're not only dealing with children coming out of foster care system that have poor nutrition, and they're probably a more affluent family, a family that probably does cook and utilize more of a whole foods approach along with medication, but the kid doesn't adapt to it because the kid has a trauma response, and trying to wean them off the improper nutrition makes it difficult for the parents. That's another struggle you have to deal with. Not only this child is problematic behaviorally, but they don't want to adhere to a nutritional regimen that's going to benefit them. And they don't understand it.
They don't get it. Think about it. It took 8 years for them to get that way. It's going to take some time for them to unlearn those bad habits and get that out of their system. I think it gets out of their system within a few months. Your body can fix itself, but mentally that takes much longer.
But oftentimes they're sent to schools.
There you go. That fuel it.
That tend to fuel it. So they're not helping in that.
Oh no, not at all. Little chicken nuggets. I mean, come on, people. Come on, people. Yeah. I mean, I have no solution about the school meals because the government, if they're paying for it, they're going to serve whatever they want to serve. Yeah.
It's like as long as they get some nutrition.
Yeah, as long as they have some calories. Yeah. They don't care about nutrition. They care about calories. Oh, got to write my calories. Yeah.
Exactly. So this a big global issue. Mental health and nutrition, is correlation. Is better nutrition necessarily lead to better behavioral issue, better behavior, or is it bad nutrition leads to poor behavior.
Well, in a lot of those countries, like in Somalia, a good example, a lot of these countries that have problems with instability and terrorism and violence, endemic violence. These people were malnutrition as children.
Mhm.
These men, they grow into dysfunctional adults. And dysfunctional adults in America, a dysfunctional adult in America might join a gang, or they might become an addict. A dysfunctional adult, let's say in a third world country, he might become a terrorist.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's a dysfunction.
Yeah.
So you got these people that were malnutrition that's as infants and early child, and then they become an adult. Their brain chemistry is just off.
Yeah.
It's just off. And we have the opportunity to get it back on track. And it manifests itself differently in different parts of the world. In America, we got the obesity, behavior issues, which are medicated, which causes a snowball effect, even more issues. Now the kids medicated and their brains really get messed up.
Yeah.
I've never seen these psychotropic medications ever fix anyone.
And I think when we talk about it can never cure you, if it ain't talking about curing you, then it's talking about ruling you.
And there you go.
And that's hard. You got the medical community saying you need this and this is going to help this and all that. And there's all the information out there. It's important for parents to do their due diligence. But also look at the community around them to get their kid in the best possible situation and get themselves in the best possible situation.
There you go.
To help their own life. I think it's always involved to look at the parents. You have to look at, as a parent, you have to look at within yourself and what you need to do. What's your obligation to do for the child?
Exactly. If you're not right, that kid ain't gonna be right. Your household can't be right. You got to get yourself right first, and it takes being honest about you and your issues, and about things that are affecting you, and things you understand. Look for ways to help yourself to understand. Like you can go to medical. You can get a psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a good pastor, go to your pastor.
All these things are available.
Very, very. Get you a good pastor.
Accessible.
Talk to your pastor. Someone that's wise, got their handle straight in your family. Talk. Don't be jealous of them. Talk to them like, hey, what do you do? Mm-hmm. Your life seems okay. Mm-hmm. Talk to that person. Yeah, your private life is probably not as good as you think it is on the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. But talk to people that are doing productive things, and maybe you can learn some of yourself.
Exactly.